2.3. Graph equations of lines. A parent function. A parent function is the most basic function in a family. Just as a linear equation, the simplest linear equation is y = x. Y-intercept, where the graph intersects the y-axis, and at this point x will always be 0. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is a slope, b is a y-intercept. Standard form is in the form ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are constants. This form is to find the intercepts real fast. And then the x-intercept, where a graph crosses the x-axis. At this point, y will always be 0. So parent function for linear functions. Parent function for the family of all linear functions is y equals x. The graph of y equals x is shown. The slope is 1 and it intercepts at 0. So in general, a y-intercept of a graph is the y-coordinate of a point where the graph intersects the x-axis. Using slope-intercept form to graph an equation. First, write the equation in slope-intercept form. By solving for y. Step 2, identify the y-intercept b and use it to plot the point 0b, where the line crosses the y-axis. Identify the slope, m, and use it to plot a second point on the line. And then finally draw a line through the 2 points. So example 1, graph this equation. -3/2 x plus 1. So step 1, it's already solved for y, so we're good there. Step 2, the y-intercept is +1, so plot the point 0, 1 on the graph where the line crosses the y-axis. The slope is -3/2, -3/2. So plot a second point on the line by starting at the y-intercept 0, 1, and then moving down 3 units and to the right 2 units. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The second point is to -2, and then draw a line through the 2 points. Don't stop at the 2 points. Go ahead and draw through them and then put an arrow on. If you use standard form to graph an equation, you write the equation in standard form, and then find the x-intercept by letting y = 0 and solving for what x would be. Use the x-intercept to plot the point where the line crosses the x-axis. Then identify the y-intercept by letting x equal 0 and solving for y. Use the y-intercept to plot the point where the line crosses the y-axis. Then draw a line. Example 2. Graph an equation in standard form. So graph 2x plus 3y equals 12. Solution. This step 1. The equation is already in standard form. My x and the y are both on one side of the equation. Step 2. Let y equals 0. 0. So I can put in 0 for y and figure out what x would be. So 2x plus 0 equals 12. Divide by 2, so x equals 6. Plot the x-intercept at 6, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to let x be 0 and then solve for y. So 3y equals 12, y equals 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Plot the y-intercept at 0, 4. And then we're going to draw our line. And that is how you graph in standard form. Now, a lot of people don't like standard form, especially if the numbers don't equal nice whole numbers like this. But that's okay. You can always change standard form back to slope-intercept form by subtracting 2x from both sides. And then that would give you 3y equals negative 2x plus 12. And then dividing by 3. And that would finally equal y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. Do you notice that if I use this equation to graph the line, I get y-intercept of 4, exactly where I had it. And then I go down 2, across 3, and it will be exactly the same line that I drew using standard form. So no matter which way you prefer, you can change it back and forth all you want and get the same answer. Graphing horizontal and vertical lines. If you have a graph of y equals c, such as y equals 3, then it's a horizontal line, and it's through the point 0, c, or in my example it would be 0, 3. Vertical lines, the graph of x equals something, is a vertical line through the point c, 0. So in example 3, the first one, we have a y equals negative 1. So if we're going to graph that, we put in, no matter what x I put in, y always equals negative 1. So I could put several points down here and then draw the line. Now on B, if I'm going to graph that, x equals 2. No matter what y I put in, x is always going to equal 2. So I can color in that line. Okay, go ahead and graph these lines on the checkpoint. Remember to stay on the graph. Notice that each graph has a scale of 2 on them, so be careful where you place your points.